Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of Business Talks. I am your host, Chawanne Burns. Today is my birthday. Hey! So, yes, we're going to do something different. I don't know if it's different, but every now and then I would like to take live calls. So, I'm going to put the link in the chat. So, if you guys want to call in and chime in on the subject that we're talking about, or you could just literally wish me a happy birthday. I don't know what I'm doing. Command V. Okay, there's the link in the chat. Okay, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Donald Trump is a couple of cases that might look, it's looking like it's going to come in or turn in his favor. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people are upset about it. Those are the people that suffers from Trump derangement syndrome. But this is the way the justice system works. Some you win, some you lose some. Anywho, and then we're going to talk about Tiffany Henyard. Tiffany Henyard, she did a 16-minute video on Facebook, I guess, to her supporters. And she wanted to let everyone know that she's doing okay. And she's really waiting till all the smoke clears and all the fake news media stop posting fake news about her. But unfortunately, Tiffany, the fake news is really not fake news. It's true news. It's just you just don't like what they're reporting on you. So anyway, we'll talk about Tiffany Henyard, and then we're gonna our first topic, we're going to talk about Michigan. Okay, so that is all on another episode of Business Talks. So you guys stay tuned. Something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. Hey, this is what you call a bad. What? This is what you call a bad. Something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. Hey, this is what you call a bad. What? This is what you call a bad. You guys put in the chat, let me know that you could hear me and see me. Also put in the chat, I want to know where you are viewing from. Hopefully you guys are having a great Friday afternoon. I know it's summery outside, so it's torture being on the inside when the weather is really looking good. Carolyn Cruz, thank you for tuning in. Norm, it is good to see you. Bridget Holman, thank you for tuning in. Samuel Matthew, what is good? Michael Turner, Little Rock, Arkansas. It's always good to see you guys. We have RJ from Columbus, GA. Thank you for the happy birthday. Posh Petals, happy birthday. Thank you. Samuel Matthews, also happy birthday. Lenny Malley says 12 likes, 21 people. Smash the like button. Actually, we got about 30-something people in the building across all platforms. You guys make sure you like this channel, subscribe to this channel, hit the like button. Smash the like button if you want to call it smash it, but do what is necessary. Share this stream, because we got a whole bunch of stuff that I want to talk about. We're going to get to Michigan for our first story. The guy, his name is Corey Harris. Now, this is so crazy because I talked about this on, I think, Tuesday or Wednesday. This guy got caught driving while on suspended license. He signed in to go to court, and the actual court case was him driving while suspended. His license was revoked or whatever, but it was on suspension. They took away his license, and he was going to court for that. And when he was signed in on the Zoom, he was driving, and the judge was like, "Are you driving, sir?" And he was like, "Yeah." And he couldn't believe his eyes. Why would you call in and say that you're driving and your license is suspended? It's really unreal. But this is what the judge had to say. about this. Let me see, man, video here. So this is just a short snippet because I already shared this portion with you, and this is about a 20 or 50-second clip. So and it's at the point where he realized, oh yeah, I am on a suspended license and I'm driving and I'm signing into court. He looked really dumbfounded. Okay.
So maybe I don't understand something. This is a driving while license suspended,
That is correct, Your Honor.
and he was just driving, and he didn't have a license.
That's what the charges, Your Honor. Yes.
I'm looking at his
Yeah.
record. He doesn't have a license.
What are you doing, sir?
He's suspended and he's just driving.
That is correct, Your Honor.
I don't even know why he would do that. So defendant's bond is revoked in this matter. Defendant is turning himself into the Washington County Jail by 6 p.m. today. Failure to turn himself in will result in a bench warrant with no bond.
Okay, so he revoked his bond, and then it went
Under
viral.
advocate for Mr. Harris, who should be present in Zoom.
It went viral. So this is the actual video, but
So maybe I don't understand something.
And he ended up getting on WXYZ, okay, in regards to his suspended license. And what he told them was that they should have unlifted his suspension because of, I guess, back child support, but they should have lifted this suspension and he should have had his license 2 years ago. That's what he told these people. Now, reason why I want to talk about this is because this guy thought maybe the judge doesn't listen to the news. Okay, so this is what they came once they talked to this guy, Corey Harris, and Corey Harris is saying, oh, it's all a misunderstanding. They should have unsuspended my license 2 years ago. Okay.
7 News Detroit is getting to the bottom of what's been an ordeal for Corey Harris of Detroit.
You've probably seen the viral video by now. It's gone around the country. He was the man seen driving during a virtual court hearing in Washtenaw County for driving on a suspended license. 7 News reporter Kimberly Craig was able to track Harris down, who is adamant that the suspension should have been lifted more than 2 years ago.
Well, tonight, Kim is back on the story with information that could help a lot of people facing a similar situation.
Trying to get to the bottom of why Corey Harris's driver's license is still suspended for child support has been incredibly frustrating. For 2 days now, I've been trying to ask anyone at Saginaw County's friend of the court what could have gone wrong, and still no answers.
They were supposed to have been lifted it 2 years ago, but they didn't.
Detroiter Corey Harris is talking about the Saginaw County friend of the court suspending his driver's license for child support, something he says he resolved 2.5 years ago, and a judge in Saginaw County rescinded that suspension, allowing Harris to drive again. So he says he was shocked when Pittsfield Township Police cited him in October for driving on a suspended license.
You stationary?
I'm pulling in right now at this second. Yes, I am.
This is the video of the virtual court hearing that went viral after a judge ordered Harris to jail for driving with a suspended license.
Failure
He talked like I'm putting in right now as we speak, like nothing was going on. I'm pulling it right now. But this is my problem with this guy. Okay, you're going to court. Okay, they suspended your license, and that's why you're going to court. Just act like we didn't know he got his license back to him, but you got pulled over, and the cop said, "No, you're driving while suspended." That's why you go to court and say, no, sir, no, judge, they got this all wrong. He didn't do that. He just said, oh, I could still drive. Anybody with common sense knows if they pulled me over, I received the ticket whilst and they say, "Oh, you're driving while suspended," and you probably get upset. I don't have a suspended license. I've been had my license back. So he's trying to tell the media it's all a mishap. I should have already had my license. This is a total mistake. But peep this.
To turn himself in will result in a bench warrant with no bond.
Harris admits he was driving to get his wife to the doctor, but what he can't understand is why his license was still suspended 2.5 years after the judge ordered it lifted. The Saginaw County friend of the court has not responded to our calls, but according to a spokesperson for the Secretary of State, friend of the court never sent over a clearance in 2022.
Hello?
1 minute, Mr. Harris.
Sometimes it is simple as the Secretary of State's office did not get a clearance from the court that everything was done, but something happened in the wires.
Keela Crane is the Deputy Legal Director for the Secretary of State, and she urges anyone who has a suspended license to take advantage of their Road to Restoration clinics held around the state to help people get their license back because the process can be complicated.
Sometimes it is that the resident just does not know what they need to do. And that's why we provide that one-on-one consultation with the resident to help them understand what they need to do.
What we may never know is why the prosecutor in Pittsfield Township or Harris's public defender could not get this resolved months ago before he landed in jail. His attorney's office declining to comment on an ongoing case.
With the type of ties that I have with the church and the community is very embarrassing.
Kimberly Craig, 7 News, Detroit.
Hopefully he will get it cleared up now.
Yeah, definitely needs it.
I just feel like this man is full of crap. Okay. Now, this is the judge. This is the point where he reappears into court. Because he had to turn himself in. The original date when he was driving and he was on a Zoom and he wasn't supposed to be driving. He had to turn himself in. Okay. And now he's appearing in front of the judge. The judge heard these claims that he made. So he decided to pull up all his driving record to see what actually is going on. So maybe, and he's saying, oh, they made a mistake. So he's looking into, oh, well, maybe we did make a mistake. So this is what the judge had to say. Let me see what you guys put in the chat before I go on. Samuel Matthews, he said the judge, I'm pulling over. I'm pulling in now. I'm pulling in right now. I know. Angela Watkins, thank you for tuning in. Hey to you. Theodius Johnson. I know I killed your name originally. Happy birthday. Thank you. James Mac, your man on. Happy birthday, Queen. Thank you. He tried saying he was part of the church and the community. How did I know he was going to claim he was part of the church and the community? But you driving while suspended. Have you guys noticed the people that's in the church and the community got the worst driving record there is? I'm saying laughingly because I know my one of my brothers, he had the worst driving record. He was driving on suspended license and he was part of the church and the community. Super 23, I'm more important than the law. Yes, that's basically what he's saying. Luella Mitchell, thank you for the birthday wishes. Super 23, I do whatever I want. Exactly, I do whatever I want. Now, at this point in time, okay, he's back in front of the court, back in front of the same judge, and you see the judge's face the original court day. He was like, in disbelief. I can't believe this man is showing up for a hearing on driving while suspended, and he's driving. Driving. So the judge pulled his card. Okay, you tell you the man of the community, and you saying, "Oh, it's all a misunderstanding." But he pulled his card. He said, "You never had a license since you were 19. You never passed the damn driver test. You never even applied to get your driver's license." That's what the judge revealed in this. So here's their exchange.
Are saying, and quite frankly, your client has made the assertion that the Pittsfield Township, as well as this court, was acting on some type of defective or faulty information, which I will tell you, counsel, caused the court, given what the court did, to investigate what my ruling was. And I will tell you that that assertion is absolutely correct with reference to any faulty information that either came through to the Pittsfield Township Department of Public Safety or to this court ultimately at the May 15th hearing. And I think it needs to be stated, I've been asked for comments. I have refrained from comments, as is my normal practice is. This court with the pending case will speak on the record. And so I am going to make sure that the record is very, very clear as to what this court knows and what this court acted on May 15th. And we can start with this. And my basis for doing it is because of what was said about what this whole process was. And that an indication, counsel, and I know, counsel, you've been before me before.
Absolutely.
I know it is not coming from you, but you also know how I am.
I do.
And the thing is that if for whatever reason, the one time in my life I was wrong, I will say it, and did. But when I'm not wrong, and when people are not to blame, then it also needs to be said. So I will try to get through this as quick as I possibly can. But I will tell you, first of all, with any reference to your client having had a license on that day, and some indication or misunderstanding as to whether or not he had a license, let me make it very clear, based upon what the court looked at, he has never had a Michigan license, ever, and has never had a license in the other 49 states and commonwealths that form up this great union.
Corey, cut it out. You know the judge is watching TV. You know they was gonna look up your record. You straight bold-faced lied so you could get sympathy from the community. Oh yeah, we got a trap. You know, they always trap a black man and black people because they, these high tickets, high fees. And Grant, I do not believe that you should get your license suspended because you didn't pay child support. Because how are you going to go to work if you're behind child support? Of course, you need the money. So you need some type of means of transportation, especially in Michigan, because they don't really have a mass transit system that's dependable. So yeah, of course, you do need a license. I do not believe they should suspend your license because you have back child support. However, Mr. Harris, why did you go on to national news, knowing that you went viral? You saying it's an embarrassment. It should be an embarrassment. Excuse me, because you're 40 something years old, probably fit close to 50. He had gray hair. He looks about 40 or 50 years old. Close to 40 or 50 years old, and you never had a license. Come on now. Stop it with the madness.
He has never had a license. In point of fact, when they suspended his license, and what people don't understand, when they suspended his license in Saginaw, they don't suspend the license. They suspend the privilege to drive in this state. Hence, for example, if he had had a Kentucky license, He would be able to drive everywhere that Kentucky would allow him to drive. He just couldn't drive in Michigan because his privileges had been restricted. I know you know that, but that wasn't at all said. But it doesn't matter because he didn't have a license ever. There is also then, and I will, when it is necessary, come to the defense of my sister courts, and I will come to the defense of Saginaw. They got a great chief judge. The chief judge answered the question. But I will tell you, that court and its friend of the court did nothing wrong. His license was, his driving privileges, better stated, were unsuspended in 2022. That required Mr. Harris to do something. He didn't do it. Therefore, the friend of the court was under no obligation to send anything to the Secretary of State. Now, I hated that I had to look at all of this, but when there's a question as to what I did, I'm going to look at everything to make sure that what I did was all in order. There's then an indication from that because that wasn't sent, there was a direct attack on Michigan's Department of Secretary of State's office, saying that the Secretary of State was somehow at fault. Let me tell you something. Secretary of State did what they were supposed to do. And in point of fact, they did nothing because they hadn't gotten anything from the court because Mr. Harris had not paid the reinstatement.
Because he didn't intend to get the license. I could really appreciate Judge Simpson, how thorough he is, and that's why he's a judge, because he wants to make sure that everyone in Michigan knows that they're not running some type of crackpot court system on driving while suspended license. That is a trap. We are out to get you. The Secretary of State's make all these, I guess, unnecessary hoops that you have to go through. No, if you have a suspended license, if your license is reinstated, you have to pay a reinstatement fee, and you go up to the Secretary of State, and then they will issue out a license. Everybody has to do this, but he tried to paint and to get sympathy from the whole, and maybe he didn't know it was going to go viral. Maybe he didn't, but since it went viral, he had to come up with something.
This week, or the latter part of last week, once he paid that, Saginaw friend of the court did what they should do, and they sent it. Immediately, based upon the information that I have, the Secretary of State did what they do every day. They took that suspension off of his driving record, and he was then unsuspended. And then your client did what he needed to do with reference to the Secretary of State and paid a reinstatement. Okay. Just a second, Mr. Schiller. I'm going to let everybody respond because
Thank you.
I am not done yet.
Okay.
All right.
You covered a lot of the points for me. Thank you, Your Honor.
And so that came down to that. So the information at the time that I had, that Pittsfield Department of Public Safety had, was all correct at the time of both Pittsfield stop as well as the May 15th day. It was all correct. There was no error by anybody. It was a failure on the part of Mr. Harris to do certain things. Now, I grant you that sometimes that can be a complicated process, but it was certainly not anybody's fault that that didn't happen other than that wasn't paid. Now, here's the other thing, and I'm like maybe in church where I say I'm about finished now, but the other part of this is this stop was in October. Most of the cases that we've heard just in this last afternoon are driving while license suspended cases. That's part of my Wednesday afternoon.
I just want to interrupt him. I told you he was trying to gain sympathy from, national, or because it went viral. So he's trying to get sympathy from whoever he can receive it. I don't know if you guys ever watched Native podcasts. It has Andrew Gilliam, Angela Rye, and I forget what the other lady's name is, but she was a commentator on MSNBC. I believe she was fired or something like that. She has a horrible story, by the way. So I'm not trying to take away from that. But these people, these three individuals, they love to talk about how Black people are just disenfranchised, marginalized, and racism is out to get us. Okay, we can't get ahead because the white man he has shackles on our feet, so we could never get ahead. So they put on their this is just a little snippet. This is Native Land Podcast. Okay, on here it says the co-host Angela Rye dives into the viral video of Washtenaw County man attended court hearing for suspended license case while driving. This situation highlights a bigger issue. Many people drive on suspended license due to financial hardship. I probably could agree to that. I could agree it is a financial hardship because the tickets are probably way too much, but you keep on driving on suspended license because maybe they don't have mass transportation, and then they always out to get you. They recognize your car, especially if you live in a smaller town. They recognize your car. Oh, look at Corey Harris, he's driving while suspended again. So we gonna put, hey Corey, they know you by name. I got to ticket you, man. They never arrest you, but they ticket you. Or maybe you get arrested after 5 tickets, you get arrested and then you have to bond out, but you never pay your tickets off. Anyway, it's time for the government to provide more leniency and support those who can't afford to pay off their fines. Well, Michigan, and I believe in Detroit. I don't know if it's, Michigan statewide. Michigan have what they call an amnesty day. Half off on your tickets. If you got $1,000 worth of tickets, you could get your tickets cleared for $500. So they call that amnesty day or something like that. Now, you guys correct me if I'm wrong. I'm never had to take advantage. Thank the Lord. I never had to take advantage of amnesty, whatever. But I'm pretty sure is any traffic tickets or but I'm not for sure if it just pertains to parking tickets, because parking tickets, you could get a boot on your car just for parking tickets here. Anyway, so this is what they had to say. So, of course, they were talking about, driving while Black, and he was taking his wife to the doctor's office. Okay, so while driving while Black, did you act like it's a hard thing to do? I think Black men do go through something else when driving, and I think I would say younger Black men tend to get pulled over. And maybe because they're not leaning up in the car correctly, they probably got their music blaring, certain things, or maybe it's just because they're Black. So I do think Black men go through something different than the rest people. But we can't say some of the stuff that you, like this guy. It's not driving while Black. You just driving while you got suspended license. You can't blame nobody else besides yourself, because you got gray in your hair, in your beard. So that means you in a significant age range that you should have the common sense and the decency that you should be able to get your tickets cleared up. And you got a wife, and your wife can't drive, or maybe she's old school, maybe she can't drive. Okay, so then somebody needs to man up and say, hey, we're shelling out thousands of dollars because of driving while suspension, and I gotta pay for a lawyer. So they just replaying that. And this is
who's ever been driving with the suspended license or whose license got suspended, it is 9 times out of 10 a financial issue. Child support, someone not being able to, and I'm not, poo-pooing the mothers that need child support, but the fact that the government gets involved in this way where it would make it more difficult because now they got to pay you the fines instead of paying for the baby, right? Like there are these layers. So this man has literally been penalized based on a paperwork error, an administrative error at the state level, and then was sent to prison that day.
And you see how she jumped on, he saying he was being penalized because of paper error. This is why we need to just step back and not jump on the bandwagon of everything, because we see that this guy is wrong. This did not, I'm just gonna put this did not age well. Because we are so quick to jump on, oh yeah, that's an atrocity. He's driving while black. No, the guy never had a license ever in his life. Even if they granted his license and he paid to get his license restored, he didn't restore it to nothing because you never took the driver test. You literally never took a driver test to get a license. To me, that is insane. And you're almost 40 something years old, or probably older. I don't know how old that guy is, but you you're old as hell. Now back to the judge. Let me look at some of your comments. Creole saying, I love Judge Simpson. Tracy, thank you for the birthday wishes. Good to see you. Yuck Food Tube, happy birthday, Miss Chawanne. Mary Time Slave, hello from UK. Happy birthday. Thank you so much. Poor Mr. Harris assumed that having a state ID, he could drive. Poor Mr. Harris. He thought, oh, I got a state ID, I can drive. like what is, like, are you that stupid for real? The Lord said, I got me some ID, I could drive. I'm taking my wife to the doctors. I'm pulling up just about now. And then his wife probably got a suspended license. Just think, his wife probably got a suspended license. Samuel Matthews, no license in any state, none. You heard the judge, none whatsoever. This man don't get, he has 0 licenses, 0 licenses in none of the 50 states. And it sounds like he lived in other states, but he don't have a license there. This man just driving. Doug, it says, good job on your content and thanks for being a good fellow American. Thank you, Doug, for tuning in. Happy birthday. My wife is tomorrow. So we know that you have a very exciting life since your wife is a Gemini like me. Chico says, happy birthday. Thank you for the birthday wishes, you guys. There's a lot of people in the hood that don't have insurance, up-to-date tags. Yeah, you know what? I had a friend that I had to help get, to sue. This lady hit her and she didn't have a license. Not a license. She didn't have a insurance. So she had to sue her and she never paid the fine or whatever. And I was like, well, you need to go back to court. So she just hit the lady's car or hit my friend's car and tore it up and act like it was okay. And then she tried to counter sue her. This lady she had a long list, a history of countersuing the people that sued her. Anyway, but she didn't have valid insurance card. Anyway, the judge looks like a character from a cartoon. Yeah, he looks like he Simpson is his last name, like he could be on The Simpsons. Harris is getting lightheaded. Call 911. Yeah, you see, he was holding on to the table. I know some people in New York don't get a license because they take the subway. Now New York, Chicago, I could see people not having a license. They have a very great mass transit system there. So I could totally see New York and Chicago. You don't have a license. Literally, my mom, when we were living in Chicago, she had to learn how to drive when we moved to Iowa, and she had to be like 42. That was the first time she learned how to drive at 42. So just imagine my childhood. I was a nervous wreck. A woman driving at 42. Crazy. Anyway, but she didn't need to know how to drive because of mass transit system in Chicago. Anyway, measured men, we genuinely care about you. So please don't misinterpret our words, but we truly appreciate you. Your alignment with our sentiment carries weight, especially consider Judge Simpson thoroughness. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Samuel said, I like the judge. And you got to appreciate Judge Simpson because he's getting down. Yeah, you made these claims on the news and you got us looking like we bold out here looking crazy, like we just giving out fines or giving out tickets frivolously, and we're not doing what we need to do because our administration is messed up. And he pulled his card. No, our administration is not messed up. So this is he's continuing what he had to say about Corey Harris talking to the news.
We go through great pains to try to get people their licenses back, which is really how it should happen. Between October and because I don't live under a rock, I actually watch things. You look very nice on TV.
Thank you.
You're welcome. There was something that was sad, that was very disturbing to me. And I'm just going to let you know because I believe in being fair with everybody. The question was asked along the lines, between October of 2023 and the point in time of the May 15th hearing, was there an attempt by Mr. Harris to correct his license? Here's the part that was disturbing for me, so that you know.
Okay.
Mr. Harris indicated that at some point he had been involved in some accident. And being involved into the accident, that he was basically bedridden or at least housebound, he could not get to the Secretary of State. That was set up there, and I'm going to presume, because my knowledge of counsel, defense counsel is, I know you don't misrepresent anything.
Right.
You never do.
Right.
That's not true.
Okay.
He purposely stated that he could not get to the Secretary of State, which, for the way we handle things in this court, would have placed him in a whole different category. We would have tried to find a way. Let's figure it out. And the reason I know that is because Mr. Harris, on December 28th of 2023, do you know where you were?
December 28th, 23.
23rd.
2023.
I know I was laid up from our
You were
accident.
at the Secretary of State's office. And you were at the Secretary of State's office because you redid and got your new Michigan ID. I have the date. That's the date you did it. December 28th, 2023. You did. And so that you also know, and in all fairness,
Why he doing that to himself? I know I was laid up. No, your ass was at the Secretary of State. Because you got another ID. You renewed your ID, your photo ID. This is the news report he was talking about. Let me see. This is the news report.
I've been laughed at. I've been ridiculed. Been laughed at. Followed. I've been assaulted. It has literally been pure.
Fair price for an honest mistake.
It has literally been pure OD hell. I've been assaulted. I've been followed. I've been laughed at. I've been ridiculed. I have been disrespected.
Corey Harris is planning to appear back in an Ann Arbor courtroom.
Corey, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Somebody tell Corey to stop it. Stop it with the mass madness. You trying to get a defamation claim? Like, what are you trying to do? Get a lawsuit against the state of Michigan?
I've been followed. I've been laughed at. I've been ridiculed. I have been disrespected.
Corey Harris is
now. You have been laughed at. You have been laughed at, and you gonna continue to get this laughter because this is unreal. This is unreal.
Pure OD hell.
He said it been pure OD hell. What's OD mean? Somebody put in the chat, what does OD mean? Did he say it's been pure OD hell?
Really been pure OD hell. I've been assaulted. I've been followed.
Who's assaulting you? Who's following you? Over you saying you pulling up to a Zoom meeting, literally pulling up to a Zoom meeting in a car. Who's assaulting you? I've been laughed at. I've been ridiculed. I've been assaulted. Like, come on now. Stop it.
I've been laughed at. I've been ridiculed. I have been disrespected.
Corey Harris is.
You disrespected yourself. You disrespected yourself. You a grown ass man and you ain't never applied for a license. You ain't even never tried. You ain't never tried. You just like, okay, I'm just gonna, I guess avoid the cops at all costs. I don't know. What are you thinking? Most men will say, oh yeah, let me get my license together, or be nervous as hell. Oh, I gotta get this ticket paid. They get with a boo, pay my tickets. He trying to get a lawsuit.
Planning to appear back in an Ann Arbor courtroom Wednesday with a new defense attorney, Dion Webster Cox.
My client doesn't want to go out here breaking the law. He's a law-abiding citizen.
No, he ain't. He's not a law-abiding citizen, and he hasn't been a law-abiding citizen since 1999. According to Judge Simpson, he's never owned a license. So he's been breaking the law since 1999. Oh yeah, you know what? We can calculate his date of birth. So he's about 40. I think he said he was 19 in 1999. So he's about 40. 42. Your client loves breaking the law. Now, and I'm not saying the child support thing is bold. I don't believe in that. I think that's bold. But yeah, you started off breaking the law because you know you need a license to drive. And then when you're younger, you like, okay, I'm gonna get my license, blah, blah, blah. Then it's a lot of paperwork, but you eventually get your wheels turning in the right direction. That's one thing people are most proud of. Oh, I got my license. You know, they tell all their friends, I got my license. I passed my driver's test. You guys remember that when you got your license and your first beat up car? He never experienced that, I guess. I don't know.
So now that we know what's going on, we're taking the steps to go forward to correct the problem, to put him in a situation where his license is in proper order.
Mr. Harris, are you driving?
Actually, I'm pulling into my doctor's office, actually.
Like wildfire.
I don't even go on the internet anymore. I deleted my Facebook, my Instagram, Twitter. I deleted everything.
Harris said he had no idea he was driving on a suspended license back in October when he was first ticketed by Pittsfield Township Police. He thought the suspension that was tied to unpaid child support had been lifted 2 years ago.
You know, like I said, take the driving while suspended out, okay? But you still didn't get your license. So you would have got ticketed for driving without a license. Then eventually it would have got suspended again. So you still was driving without a license. It doesn't matter how you chop it up. If he got ticketed for a suspension license or driving without a license, it still would have been a ticket because he's never applied for a license. And he's trying to act like, oh, my license was never, or they should have lifted my suspension. But if they lift your suspension, you would have got a license, but you never applied for a license. Do you see how crazy this is? You got a grown man saying, oh, it's your fault. No, it's your fault, fool. How you gonna live life without and you driving around America and you don't got a, and another thing, you don't got no insurance. You know this guy don't got no insurance. So he driving without a license and no insurance. Come on now. Let's get back to Judge Simpson.
And so he knows that he doesn't have an ID or you have a license. It did. And so that you also know, and in all fairness to counsel, because I don't know if counsel knows this or not, the way I know that he's never had a license is because May 3rd, 1990, he was 19 at the time. May 3rd, 1999, he applied for his first Michigan ID. Counsel knows, so I do. You cannot have both. You either have an ID or you have a license. One of the two. He has religiously every year gotten a new ID. And so he knows that he doesn't have a license. And quite frankly, I just wish he would have said that at the beginning. And all of this hoopla could have been just put all aside. And we all go through the process as we do with all of the people coming here to try to get him his license back. But his falsehoods, misstatements are not going to fare him well in this court.
We all saw this video. I wasn't.
Yeah, it's not going to fare well, and I appreciate the judge pushing back, because the media could take a story and portray something for one thing, and it's really another. Measure Men, thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate you. The truth needs no proof. People ran with the story and no research. Yeah, they ran. Oh, there's another black man being criminalized, or marginalized, or whatever, and they didn't bother to do the research. Coming to find out, this man never applied for a damn license. You know what makes me? And then they're trying to act like, oh, poor him. No, you're a grown ass man. You are a grown man. This is another thing that they try to paint, like men are so feeble and weak. No, you making babies. You see, he was, on child support. You literally making human beings you got to be responsible for. And this is the example you give them. Oh, you try to get people to feel sorry for you, that you're not taking accountability of your own actions. You never apply for a damn license. Never, ever in his life he's ever applied for a license. And the man is 40 something years old. Sounds like Biden's Morehouse speech. Now the board of trustees jobs are in jeopardy. But yes, Samuel Matthews, thank you. Hit that like button. Hit the like button. Measure Men, thank you for the other super chat. I really appreciate you. JC has the utmost of integral processes of judgment. Imagine us seeing it on TV and like something isn't right. Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. You are a man. You are a man. You have to be accountable for your actions. You're a 40-something-year-old man. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, blue, green. You're a 40-something-year-old man. You know why they try to portray? They already trying to portray that black people can't get an ID. That they're trying to take away. Oh, you don't need a ID to vote. No, the hell you do need an ID to vote. A ID should be required at every state to vote. Everyone should be, if you are an adult, you should be able to get a license. If you're not able to get a license, maybe you shouldn't vote. If you don't have the brain capacity to get a license, maybe you shouldn't vote. And then her lawyer, which I'm I can't fault her lawyer, but she should have did. Well, no, I'm not going to fault her lawyer, because of course you're going to take your client for what they said, and of course in all trials, criminal trials, which I guess this would be a criminal traffic court, all kind of cases, lawyers always get surprised. Okay, and the lawyer will always ask, oh, so there's nothing that I need to know that they're going to surprise me with. And of course, there's always a surprise. And so she looked like a jackass. We don't know if this went viral. I haven't seen people talking about the latter portion of this, but the native podcast, they're not going to chime in on this. And so she's up here defending, or trying to defend, because he probably paid for her to defend him. But, if you was trying to get a lawsuit, that's not going to happen. because you straight lied. You're lying now. And you tried to act like, it was just in December you was at the Secretary of State. Well, how come you don't remember that? Did you fall and bump your head? Did the accident cause short-term memory loss? Like, what's going on? Anyway, I thought it was funny. I truly think this is funny. It's actually shamefully funny, but it's funny. If you guys want to watch the full video, it was about a 15-minute video. I'm not going to go over what his lawyer is saying, but I think he kind of made her look like a jackass. But maybe she should have did more research. Rita, did she probably like, I would never, ever defend nobody about their license. I'm not going to believe anybody what they said. I'm just going to get the story and the full story before I go to the news media. So the next story, your girl, Tiffany, you guys put in a comment. Let me know what you think. The next story, we gotta go over your girl, Tiffany. Now, Tiffany has some crazy meetings over the past week. And she got here on YouTube, not YouTube, but what's this? What is this? Facebook. She's on Facebook and she's saying she's standing strong. She's standing strong. She want to let everybody know. Everybody know that she's standing strong.
People's mayor. Come on in. Come on in. Hey guys. Hey, come on in. Just want to give you an update. I want to thank everybody because there's a lot going on in communities. And I just want y'all to know I'm standing strong. This too shall pass, but I want to thank you for your love, your support, your text messages, your emails, everything that you send me just to tell me, Tiff, you got this. So about last night we had a board meeting, and it saddens my heart that it's so much chaos going on that people want to create division amongst us but not give facts and truth to what's going on in our community. You guys know that I've always been the voice of the people, and I've always been trying to uplift my community and tell my community what they mean to me, because sometimes people don't know their worth. So we have done so much within my term, and I'm only 3.5 years in, and I think we have created so much in our village. And it saddens my heart because you have board members that's using it for political gain, playing these games, and they're using the people as, I don't even know what to call it. And I just need y'all to pay attention because I have no more words as it relates to
what are they using the people for, Tiffany? People that are not mindlessly following you and saying, hey, we support Tiff no matter what. They're using us because we don't agree with you. Everybody that's in Dalton that don't agree with Tiffany, they're using it. Everybody that's talking about Tiffany or against Tiffany, they're using you. Come on now. Stop it with the madness.
What they're doing, you have to look and pay attention with your own 2 eyes of what's going on in the village of Dalton. And as I always say, me today, you tomorrow. I have been doing a great job at the township and at the village.
Who? What leader that's a really good leader? What leader that's a really good leader saying, I have been doing a really great job. And everybody else is saying, you're doing a really bad job. Something's wrong. Something's wrong with you psychologically. Something is wrong with your head. Because you actually think you're doing a good job and you're doing a horrible job. You're doing a horrible job, Tiffany. And everybody's talking about it.
When people try to bring people in to do fake investigations, because it's fake news, because they don't tell you both sides, they tell you one-sided narratives, and don't allow everybody should get investigated. You know what I'm saying? Everybody. It shouldn't be geared towards one individual. It was illegal. You cannot appoint, again, for those that don't understand politics, because that's what it is. The way politics works is every mayor in any city, in any state, you appoint, depending on your laws. But over here, we appoint the attorneys, the village administrator, village manager. We appoint the fire chief, the police chief. We appoint everybody. That is our power, guys. And people don't understand that. So then when you get 4 individuals who really is puppets to the puppet master, which is the lawyer, come in and try to.
Let's break this down. They're trying to say Otis and the law firm that the trustees use, the 4 trustees use. She's trying to say, and she's always said that he wants to control the township. Okay, control the village. Okay. That may be so, but I don't know how they will control the village. Even if they were getting so many dollars an hour and representing you on all these cases, what do they have to gain? They're not, they're there for legislation council, right? Okay, what would they gain from, advising the trustees saying, hey, no, this is based off of Illinois legislation. It should go this way, this way, and this way. That's what they're supposed to do. I'm pretty sure they got a standing contract because of that. And then you got your other mayor that left because you can't pay him. But now you have all these lawsuits, about 17 lawsuits that you're facing. And you're saying this one law group is trying to pull the strings. But what do they have to do? They have subcontractors that they are on approved contractor list. And let's go far beyond controlling the trustees. If you want to control something, because it's something to gain. And the only thing to gain with the village of Dalton is contracts, right? Okay, I got a law contract, but I've been had this law contract with you. It's not a new contract. So what are they gaining? Have you guys ever thought about that? What is the Oldison group gaining from, they want to control the things? Do they have other contractors that they want to bring in? I just don't understand. Why does she say that all the time? Are they being puppet master by some other entity in Illinois, some higher entity? I'm not for sure. I'm not for sure. Why does she make that claim all the time? Somebody put in the chat, because I don't. Maybe I'm not seeing the connection. Maybe she's, she is right in saying, yeah, they do have so many things to gain from controlling the trustees. But what have they gained?
To overtake government, that's not how it works. As I always say, when it's a woman in control, a woman running things, you guys have a problem with that. And it's sad because we know what we're doing, and we want.
No, when a woman is running things, y'all tend to be bitches. The worst bosses in America are usually women. They have the most complaints. Besides, guys that they old school and they can't get out of their ways. They want to sexually harass everybody. And we talked about I think it was FICA or the Federal Reserve. We talked about them, their culture. They sexually harassing literally everyone was all the old elderly people was sexually harassing everybody, and racial discrimination. So they had a bad culture. But lately in the news, we see that women that's in power tend to muck up things. You're saying that you guys know what you're doing, but you're proving everybody wrong. You don't know what the hell you're doing. You don't. You don't know how to control your spending. You mad at the last board meeting? She was like, "Oh, y'all not gonna fix the pool. Y'all not gonna fix the pool." And then you literally in the wintertime, you shutting people water off because you got infrastructure problems or streets of flooding because you got infrastructure problems, but you want a pool? You want a pool. Anyway.
Won't change. We want things to go right in our community. But sometimes there's been so much bad and so much corruption in our communities that when we try to implement the change, it's like, y'all want to know why. And y'all know why. Y'all got clubs in our community that has been shut down, clubs for shootings. And then they get their due process. And then you got people that sit here and say they want the club back open. Then the club get back open. Then they had another shooting at the club.
I'm not mad for Tiffany. Okay, you don't need no club or liquor stores or whatever. You saying you against the liquor stores, but you have your vested interest at this St. Patrick's property. You guys don't remember that. The St. Patrick's property, she's saying, I am the liquor commissioner. And when it comes to liquor license, I am the liquor commissioner, and we don't need no more liquor stores in our community. You guys remember that? We don't need no more liquor stores in our community. All the while, you got a vested interest in this St. Patrick's property, where it's going to be a emporium, a liquor emporium, and event space. Where you going to sell liquor? They're probably going to get shot up. And your mama is screaming in the background talking about, I'm having my 75th birthday there. God, I'm gonna pull the clip up. But you saying all these things that, oh, I'm trying to lead this community in the right direction, but no, you're not. You have the invested interest of yourself. You're not looking out for the people. It's all about self with you. And if you could look good in the meantime, oh, I'm going to host a party and then build this building, shut down all these liquor stores or, nightclubs because they don't support me, or they're not contributing to my campaign, or they don't want me to get tied. They don't want to put me in on the money. So I'm going to shut you down. And, in the meantime, I'm partnering with this other couple, and they're going to bring in the liquor, and they're going to be the only one. They're going to be the only one. They're going to control the market in Dalton Village.
Another shoot, but the news don't play that. So they tell you one side, but don't tell you what's going on. And that's why I tell y'all, do y'all research. Y'all should always do your research, pull paperwork so you will know what's going on. Because right now, you see everything's at stake. Everything. You watching the president race, you watching Congress, you watching the Senate, you watching all these things take place. But now, your voices must be heard, residents. You community. If you're watching this and you see me going through this, I want you to keep me in your prayers. Keep me uplifted. Because at the end of the day, only God can tell you what to do. Only God got the final say-so. He are leading us in this fight against all these corrupt people. Because that's who I'm fighting, guys. I'm fighting devils. I'm fighting people that had it their way for so long and thought that I was going to do the same thing. But I said no. And now this is why you see me getting attacked the way you see me getting attacked. I don't know nobody that's literally on the news every single day for clicks. And I told the news the other day, y'all owe me a check. You know y'all owe me a check? Because you guys are using my face for likes and views. Like, stop it.
You are a political figure. You are a political figure, Tiffany. You're not popular. If you wasn't, and maybe she would have been a good YouTuber or, social media, whatever. But you're not popular. Your dress was a mess. You too hood. So only reason why you're popular is because of the things you're doing. And since you are the mayor, since you are the supervisor of Thornton Township, everyone they have the right to talk about you. And you're telling your people, oh, speak up, the residents speak out. Yeah, they do speak out. They come to the meetings and speak out. And you get mad at them. Talking about, let me educate you. Or let me educate y'all. Let me educate y'all. As it relates to. Come on now. You get mad and you said pull the paperwork. You stop the paper. If the paperwork is something that you don't like, you stop it. You stop the FOIA request. That's why WGN is suing you right now, because of the financial paperwork they're trying to request. But you stopped it.
It's clickbait, but you don't tell the truth. They don't tell you about all these programs we got going on. Why they tell you about all this stuff that we got going on up here at the township? We got a ton of things going on right now. Right now we got a food service. Hey, we have a food service thing going on right now, and people tend not to even want to tell y'all that. So if you're hungry, every Wednesday you can come by and get food and get different stuff. And then also you got our GA department. If you need help with your light, your gas, your water bill, things of that nature, you guys can come up here and get help for free. All these are free services, but no one's advertising it to you. But they advertise all of the negativity, all the mess. Why is that? And why they gotta use our community for a mockery? That's what's being shadowed. Black people going back and forth. Why? Wake up, guys. I just want you to see it for what it is, but I'm letting y'all know I'm still standing strong. I'm still 10 toes down with you. And I just want you to know that this too shall pass. And when it do pass, you'll see what's next. But I wanted to lay some facts to that fiction story, that little fake story that's out there about how it works. Myself, the mayor of Dalton, is the only one that can appoint for any of the positions I just said before you. But people not telling you that. They sitting here did a mockery about Lightfoot Inn. Come on, really? Stop.
If that was the case, you wouldn't have the board of trustees. You guys ever, why have a board of trustees if they can't appoint, to keep you in line? If they can't appoint something or vote on some type of resolution to keep you in line, what's the point of board of trustees? We don't need a board of trustees. We just let the mayor control everything. The board of trustees is to make sure that you're doing the necessary things and make sure you're spending the money properly. They are the residents' line of defense. They protect the township or the village for frivolous lawsuits. So Tiffany Henyard is absolutely wrong in this one. I'm not going to just ramble off on my mouth. I'm going to request the resolution for what she's saying, if it's actually accurate. But I'm pretty sure Jason House and Odison, what are the law group? I'm pretty sure they looked it up. And they, co-signed and said, oh yeah, this is something that you could do to investigate her. And why are you mad about them investigating the activities that was in that happened in Las Vegas? Why are you mad? Because if you would have did an independent investigation and actually did it, you would have actually been a super mayor. We could have said, oh, Tiffany's a lot of things, but she do have women's backs. No, but you didn't. You trying to cover up because you never did an investigation, because you don't give a shit about nobody besides yourself. Some of these comments in here, that's what I said. If you guys, if you're in Dalton and you don't vote to get her ass out, I don't know if those charges are going to come prior to the election or after, but Tiffany will be back in there praying for you, super mayor. All these crazy dramas. I don't know why you would put that. God got you and you got this. Love you. Willie Hartfield, not to say if he's for or against Tiffany. Did Lori Lightfoot mess up Chicago? Somebody else says, love you, Tiff. Stand tall through it all. You are a true queen. We could say Tiffany's a ghetto queen. You need to worry about Harvey, not Dalton. What? I don't know. Why are you saying that? I'm witnesses. I've been here for Riley and Shaw. No one has never done what you have. So, bye. Somebody was mad at her. I love you, Tiff. Hang in there. We need a pool. We had one. It was 16 closed. I guess they saying 16 years it was closed down. Somebody said, I need my street done. South Outlet. I need my street done. Somebody else put you going to jail, Super Mayor. Tiffany, I love you to go to prison and there's nothing you can do about it. Tiffany, I love you to go to prison. Ain't nothing you can do about it.
You know the rules. You especially, because you was a mayor. You was. Past tense was. Brandy, come get your girl. Come on, stop playing. Y'all playing that. Y'all using everything for just clickbait. Like, it's not even worth that, guys. It's not. But I just wanted to showcase that to you today and let you know what was going on and tell you guys that, hey, I'm still standing strong. I'm still in a fight. But at the end of the day, my people know what we do in our community. You've seen me come, cut trees down, do streets, sidewalks, alleys, things that ain't never been done in my city, ever. If you talk to people that really can tell you what's up about Dalton, they gonna tell you, Tiffany, the only mayor that's been putting on for the city. The only one. And I can put my stats up against anybody. But yet, they gotta paint me in this bad picture because they can't beat me. Because if y'all could have beat me, right? Election time coming up, that's why you see all this craziness. Y'all would have did it the right way. But y'all gotta do a smear campaign to try to beat me. And then on another thing, y'all brought an individual in that ain't never gonna get paid because it's illegal. I told y'all that already. They ain't never gonna get paid. $400. This lady put in her paperwork. $400 an hour. An hour, guys. Where they do that at?
I do agree with Tiffany on this one. Where they do it at $400 an hour. I do agree on that one. But Tiffany, this is politics. Of course, we got to smear your name. You supposed to smear their name. That's politics. That's normal. But they're not really smearing your name. They telling the truth. They don't need to go on a smear campaign because this video. Fact check. You can fact check all this through here and lies on top of lies. You're a liar. You're a liar. You're full of shit. So what are you saying? You know, yeah, beat you at the polls, but no, if you're doing harm to the residents now, that's their jobs. The trustees' jobs is to make sure you're not doing harm to the village and the residents. They're there to protect the residents in the village from frivolous lawsuits. Like I said, she got about 17 out there right now. 17. It's literally about 17 lawsuits. I mean, and I'm not making this up. It's literally about 17 lawsuits that Tiffany, actually the village of Dalton, because, you know, they're suing because of Tiffany actions or Keith Freeman actions, but they have to name the village of Dalton because she's acting as the representative. She's the mayor.
So for those that don't understand, and y'all math ain't mathing, $400 an hour is $100 every 15 minutes. To do what? Come on, it's a money grab. And all
somebody told her that.
can do is open your eyes up and make y'all see what's going on. Because some people don't know. And that ain't even just for her. That's her salary. And then what about the team that she got to bring in? What about travel expenses? All that's in the paperwork. But they didn't tell y'all that, did they? They just made this whole little scene and made it showcase mess in our village. And it said because the people that sit on the board with me are creating all the chaos.
That's what I said. Somebody told you that. Okay. When you look, Tiffany, in the board meeting, you saw the paperwork. So Tiffany don't read. She can't read. I didn't know that. You know what she's saying. She's saying that extra people that she brings in that's going to be separate, or maybe they did say that, or maybe somebody asked that in the board meeting, in the special board meeting. But Tiffany, this is not the place. You're on freaking Facebook. This probably, let me see how many views this has. I don't know. I don't know how many views it has. But it has 450 comments. So you know it got pretty substantial views if it has 450 comments. So it probably was viewed thousands or tens of thousands of times. Somebody shared it 19 times. But what I'm saying is, Tiffany, why didn't you do that during the board meeting? You don't read. When you put that vetoed out, that should have been in your whole spiel. But you didn't read the contract. You didn't read. Somebody read it for you. Now you got the information 5 months later or 3 months later, and now you trying to say, oh, they got this and this and this in the contract. Nobody know that, but nobody's listened to you. So you 8 minutes in the video, and then you're saying about this contract. You're illegitimate. You know how Letitia James was Letitia James and Hillary Clinton made up the slogan against Trump because they said he's an illegitimate president. You're an illegitimate mayor. You're an illegitimate mayor. You don't have the people protecting you to give you the right information to say it at the time. You just doing shit willy-nilly. You look silly. I'm not going to call it an S word, but she looks silly. So you're 8 minutes in this video, and then you saying something about the contract.
And I never seen somebody that governs a community want that community to be in so much turmoil. Well,
You want to be in so much turmoil because you're always
people flying in, people coming from all over, YouTubers or fake wannabe Instagrammers or whatever y'all call nowadays. That's not cool.
Tiffany, why you hating? Stop hating on the YouTubers and the Instagrammers and the Facebookers. Tiffany hated because her channel couldn't take off. Then somebody told her to take that channel down, or I guess her channel got deleted. But you mad that you couldn't do what the YouTubers are doing and create your own channel and go viral.
But this is what's going on in my community. And I wanted to talk to y'all today to let y'all know that I'm not standing for it. So you will see me all the time telling people that I am not going anywhere and I'm not going to stand for the mess. Because at the end of the day, that's why I'm talking, because I'm trying to lay it to rest. It's so much going on and y'all don't even got proper information to make decisions. And when y'all see me, ask me. I'll tell y'all what's up. Because at the end of the day, y'all voted for Lightfoot, right? To come in here at $400 an hour, that's $100 for every 15 minutes, but yet y'all won't vote to open the swimming pool for the kids. That make sense. I asked about this last.
You sound stupid. They voted to investigate you. Everything ain't play. You got the young lady, Miss Dukes, got sexually assaulted, and they investigating you. That's a slap in the face. Oh, we can't investigate her or anything else that is happening, the corruption, because we want a swimming pool. You sound stupid. This is why you're not competent to run for or to be a mayor, because your priorities are messed up. You're talking about that's for the people. No, your priorities are messed up. I believe, was it Brittany Norwood mentioned that why would we vote on a pool and they you know when it rains they got a pool in their basement? Like, come on now. Your priorities are messed up because of the infrastructure is messed up. You got some people, half of the residents, that their basement floods. And you're talking about a swimming pool. Your administrator or executive assistant was assaulted out of town on your watch, and you lied about the investigation, and you didn't do anything for that young lady. You didn't. Fania Dukes is still probably traumatized. She's gonna be traumatized for the rest of her life because of you. And you talking about a swimming pool. Your priorities are way out of whack. You ruining my birthday for real. Tiffany Henyard, you're ruining my birthday for real. Talking about this crazy stuff. She just like, really? Come on now. This doesn't even make no sense. You are a grown woman and you're saying, hey, we gonna pay $400. You trying to compare an investigation on a crime, literally on a crime, a sexual assault crime, to a swimming pool.
Last night, they took it off the warrant list. So those that live in Dalton, y'all want to swim? And I think that we should open the pool because that's what I'm advocating for, to teach our kids, especially the black and brown kids, how to swim. Because that's the number one thing they all say. We don't know how to swim. But we have a pool that we pay for regardless, but ain't open. Because people playing politics. These are the things I'm fighting up against. Greenwood Falls, right? Y'all see it? We got an outdoor roller rink. These are things that should be advertised to y'all, tell y'all what's going on, but they not. They won't tell you anything like that. And then you can ice skate in the winter. But these, again, are the things, y'all bogus. Somebody put Beetlejuice. Y'all funny. I ain't mean to read that, but okay. These are the things that I'm advocating for. And I want everybody to come out.
You know, I have a problem with that too. So I guess they renamed Just Ice to something else, maybe, so she won't look like a jackass. So it's just her ice rink. Probably because the FBI is investigating how much money she spent on this ice rink, and it didn't even get approved. You spent, and I believe they still owe money on this ice rink, but nobody could use it. And you hear her mention the other day in a meeting saying, "Oh, we're working on to get the place staffed so people could use it whenever they want to." And it's going to be rented out. We trying to generate income so people could rent out the ice rink or skating rink during the weekends. I think that's an excellent idea. But why didn't you get the board approval? Why didn't you get a board approval? I just don't understand that. But you are trying to say, oh, we need these things. No, you want these things. I had to pull up how many kids live in Dalton. What's the census data for Dalton? She's claiming that the median age of Dalton is 39 years old. If you ain't swimming by 39, you probably ain't gonna swim. I'm sorry. If you ain't swimming by 39, you probably ain't swimming. 13% of the population is from 0 to 9 and 14. So you got 27% of the population is under 19 and under. So 30%. What's 30 about? You got about 6,000 people. 6,000 people. What am I right? 10 20 30. Yeah, about 6,000 people that's under the age of 18 or 19. You gonna have one pool. Everybody ain't gonna visit the pool, but you gonna have this one. How large is this pool gonna be? But this is a priority to service 6,000 people. And I believe I heard somebody mention in the audience, yeah, we don't need a pool because all the neighboring cities have a pool. So that's not our main priority. But Tiffany is trying to make that a main priority.
support. I'm gonna do a conversation with the mayor, and you can actually get the truth for yourself. Also, I've been trying to educate and teach people about taxes. A lot of people don't understand tax levies. All this smoke that's going on. Did y'all know that my board of trustees in the village of Dalton, the four, that they raise y'all property taxes? Y'all didn't know.
Oh my God, here you go again. I think Tiffany learned something new and she just keep on repeating it. Stop it. Everybody know that they raised the property taxes over the last whatever years, and they decided not to do it again. They didn't approve it. Get over it, Tiffany. The people that's showing up for the board meeting, they're intelligent enough to know about taxes, because that's why they're showing up to the board meeting, because they know about the taxes. They know how the tax levy works. They know how the millages work. Those are the people that knows. They probably know way more than you how the taxes work. But you keep on beating this dead horse. Stop it. It wasn't passed. Get over it.
Know that, huh? Did the news tell you that? Nope. But this are the things that's going on that they don't tell you.
The news did tell us this. The news told us that you are was trying to raise the taxes, and now you just mad about it and can't get over it. You need to focus on something else. Jeez.
That's at your doorstep. And then when you get your tax bill, they get to saying, I ain't raised your taxes. Yeah, they did. We have an event on the 15th for all fathers. It will be open, the roller rink. So anybody want to come and skate, bring your skate. We got a JB event coming up as well, and you can do that as well. I'm going to bring... So I'm gonna bring KP in. KP is an influencer as well. All the
She got somebody influencer to do what?
Men in Harvey, and he wants to tell y'all a couple things so you can hear from somebody else other than me.
What's going on, everybody? Just want to.
No, about to cuss. This so just said KP like we did. I'm thinking like it was a new influence. This Negro is Keith Price. He's an influencer. Influencer on what? The food, the food pantry. Come on. I'm thinking she's gonna say somebody else like, oh, she got an influencer behind her. Look at her. She's trying to do her Biden campaigning. This food done brought in the food pantry, the food pantry guru. He gonna tell you about all the latest snacks in 2024. Like, come on now, let's stop it. Stop it. Stop it with the madness, I'm telling you. Judge Petty says, but control what? What could Odison want to control and how? He's the only one who has tried to save Dalton from lawsuits, while Delgado welcomes them because he gets paid. Exactly. Thank you. And when he doesn't, he quits. He quits like he just did. Grace Levy, what's up? If you guys don't follow Grace Levy, Grace Levi. Grace Levi, right? Put it in the chat. Put your YouTube channel in there. Grace says, facts, I agree. Women be tripping, power tripping. Exactly. Carolyn Cruz said, well said. Odison firm got plenty of money. Henyard is throwing the stuff against the, I don't know what that emoji is. Fantasizing about, against the wall, shit against the wall. Hopefully it's sticking. It sticks. Tiffany got to have the last word. She does. Like, yeah, you had to have the last word. You see the board meeting broke out. They were so mad that Lori Lightfoot is just as stubborn as Tiffany. And she gonna get the last word. So she got a bull. And Lori Lightfoot knows she's way more intelligent than Tiffany. I'm not saying that I don't think she did a good job as a mayor or anything like that, but you got a match. You met your match. Now you're trying to control somebody and you can't control it. And you see Lori Lightfoot, she brought her people with her. So you wasn't going to bully her. I didn't know you guys was calling Lacey BBL Lacey. I thought that was hilarious. BBL Lacey was walking around like he was going to bully somebody. One more time, I'm going to have to shut the meeting down. If you guys laugh, clap, or talk. What? We laugh, clap, or talk. You going to shut the meeting down for laughing or clapping? Sir, this is a board meeting. We can't laugh or talk. But she can make an ice skating rink. Yes. Tia says, happy birthday. Thank you. I agree. They've been paid too, but nowhere near Delgado been paid. Nowhere near what Tiffany has claimed either. No, the Oldison group, they still got a arrears because they tried to approve this bill, or it was on the warrant list, and Trustee House said take line item 89 110,000 for Delgado Law Firm booth. But I approve everything besides Delgado Law Firm because we said we're not gonna pay them. I'm sorry. He took them off the warrant list. Anyway. I got to catch up with your chat. Measure Man, the truth. I'm sorry. I miss. That's an old chat. Rome said Tiff is on crack. You lie. She blamed the trustees for ruining Lavelle Redmond's life because they brought to the surface the past mistakes. No. Okay. Sorry for Lavelle. They said, okay, he did these dirty deeds when he was a teenager, but that's the thing that you got to deal with. This guy was involved in a violent assault against a teenager, and you were convicted, and you spent so many years behind bars, and Tiffany gave you a job to go into people's houses. Of course, everybody wants to know who's coming into. You're not doing background checks, Tiffany. I don't know if you guys remember. I shared it on. This was last year sometime. I shared it when they were doing the Zoom board meetings, and Tiffany was mad because they wanted to reinstate doing background checks on people that she was hiring, because Tiffany loves hiring criminals, and you can't be a convicted felon working at the state of Illinois or the city, whatever. You got to be a part of that program. But he couldn't have worked in the capacity that he was working at. That's your fault, Tiffany. You knew the guy was what he was. You should have hired him and doing something else. Sandra Davis, thank you for the birthday wishes. Dalton gave Tahoe Tiffany too much resource power, and she playing Game of Thrones with the residents until the next election. Exactly. Miss Petty, Mike Delgado stopped representing, but the firm is still representing Tiffany. I just hope Henyard is spending her own salary. I hope so too. I hope so too. Yeah, and I'm going to get to that. Let's see what this guy is talking about. Let's see what Keith Price. If we were gambling, when do you think the FBI is going to move in and get the super mayor out? I don't know if they did all the testimony in the grand jury. I'm pretty sure they probably concluded that. But if I'm suspecting, the FBI, they just don't gather up evidence and do a host a grand jury for nothing. They're probably trying to see how many crimes they could charge Tiffany. This is what I'm laughing about it, but that's probably what they're doing now. How many crimes can we charge Tiffany with? Because this is not a simple case. How many crimes can we charge her co-conspirators with? Is this a RICO charge? I think if you just so frivolously charge Donald Trump, you guys give me. I got a lot of people that don't like Donald Trump. I like Donald Trump. You just give Donald Trump this RICO charge, and he wasn't even in the state of Georgia. I guess it was over the phone. He said, "Find me some more votes," and they gave him a RICO charge in Georgia over one phone call. What the hell you think they're gonna do to Tiffany? She's there in the place as it relates to Dalton Village. I just threw that in there because she likes to say as it relates to. So yeah, they got some evidence on her. And they win all their cases. They got like a 0.1% or maybe 0.2% failure rate. If they FBI is coming for you, they more likely got some. They don't just waste time and resources and do subpoenas and all this stuff just to see if they got something. No, they already got something. They're just trying to connect the dots of how much they got. Let's get back to Keith Price.
Take a minute to talk to the residents of Dalton that know Tiffany's work. Tiffany has been busting her butt for you guys. I need y'all to pay attention. Anyone that knows me knows that I encourage everyone to research for themselves, always have. When we talk about Lightfoot, we talk about special meetings where they appointed Lightfoot. Miss Lightfoot was appointed at a special meeting. Anybody know the ILCS codes? Know that at a special meeting, you cannot change an agenda. You can't change an agenda for anything. They changed the agenda for Miss Lightfoot. They amended the agenda, and they.
What the hell is he talking about? No. You guys, they act like people can't just go back to the meeting and listen to any comments. No, I don't have any. This is Trustee House. Jason House said, no, I don't have any comments. I would like to give my comments or give my time to Lori Lightfoot. That's not change the agenda. What do you mean? They overturn you. They overturn you. Your veto, and they overturn they superseded the veto. So what is he saying? This is why they look so crazy. They act like people can't just go back to the meeting. Everything is on social media, and we could look to see what went on. They didn't change the agenda. What is he talking about?
Changed the title of which they were bringing her in as. That is illegal. That makes that meeting illegal. That makes that appointment illegal. Plus, the mayor has the right to appoint. But I want y'all to pay attention to the things that those 4 trustees are stopping. They wouldn't buy the skates for the roller rink. They stopped paying concrete. The contractors for.
Okay, number one, Keith Price, go sit your ass down. Keith, you don't even. Does he live in the village of Dalton? He works in Thornton Township, but is he a resident of Village of Dalton? I'm not for sure, but that's her henchman, a social media star, whatever. She called him influencer. I don't even call myself an influencer because I'm past the influencing age. Well, I guess I can influence other people like my age group. But when I think of influencer, I think of, the younger people. Oh, they're an influencer. But anyway, what I'm getting at, Jason House, you guys, Jason House, when it came to the warrant list, he brought it up. They asked if you got any comments. Yes, I noticed that we received a call from such and such and such and such ABC Concrete Company. ABC Concrete Company has a bill of $110,000. This is right after Tiffany said, "Y'all ain't paying the concrete." They emailed us saying we owe them in arrears of $110,000, something crazy. It was a large bill. And this bill was approved on such and such a date. I would like to know when will this bill be paid? When are you expecting to pay this bill? Because it was approved on this date. So he pulled her card. You're saying we're not paying concrete. This is a concrete bill that we approved back in of last year, and it wasn't paid. So what are you talking about, Tiffany? So Tiffany, and now she got Keith Price lying. And like they don't even listen to what's going on in the meeting. Can we know the status of when this bill will be paid? Because we approved this bill 6 months ago. And she tried to overtalk him, but he was like, no, yeah, this bill, we approved this 6 months ago, and they just emailed us saying they never been paid. And it's a concrete company.
For the concrete, you need those for various reasons, especially when you have water main breaks. So you got the lawn care not getting paid. Y'all just, the people that are paying attention, look at the things that your trustees are stopping. It's very important to look at what they're stopping.
A lawn care, are they talking about senior citizens? I think that's what they're talking about. But they already established the lawn care was supposed to be something for the kids. And I think Stan Brown is saying that, no, we don't have enough kids. They can't pass the drug test, blah, blah, blah. So they are going to get to this other company to take over this thing. And I think this was in Thornton Township and the Village of Dalton. So what are you saying? Are you talking about trees, the trees being trimmed? The trees that being trimmed, and after Brittany Norwood brought it to everybody's attention. Yeah, we would get a bill for $500 to trim a tree. Then 6 months later, we get the same bill for the same tree. No, we'll get a $5,000 bill or $10,000 bill for a tree that they trimmed last year, but now they're talking about we cut the tree down. You double dipping. Tiffany is getting kickbacks. And then she got this dum-dum sitting up here. Yeah, they're not paying the concrete. They're not doing this. Like, do you even listen to the board meeting? Why are you so stupid? I would be like, Tiffany, what about what Jason House said? Is that true? Is that concrete bill, are these people actually not getting paid? Is this true? Because I'm not going to put my name on the line looking like a stupid person. And I'm up there shouting and screaming for you and supporting you. And you're lying to me. Everybody can't be lying against you, Tiffany.
I encourage all you all in Dalton to stay strong. This woman, Tiffany, has had her first term as mayor, and it's only been 3.5 years. She's gotten streets done. You're getting sidewalk, street cleaners. Alleys done. I mean, she's doing a great job. This is a political attack. I believe this is strictly because she won't bow down to the status quo. So you all keep y'all head up, pay attention, and number one, always research for yourselves. I stand with her because I like the work she's doing. I love the work she.
You didn't do no research either. And he was at the board meeting. So you didn't listen to what nobody said. You all like, oh, I just got to listen to Tiffany. Nobody, you don't listen to nobody else. You just got this one track mind. I agree with Tiffany, but I'm still going to listen to other people. And I'm not saying I agree with Tiffany. I'm just saying, I agree with Jason House. I still got to listen to other people. Like I mentioned, you guys know, I don't like them paying $400 an hour to old girl. But if that's her salary, they made that decision. I think it's a wrong decision. They can't find. Let me investigate. I'll investigate Tiffany for only $200 an hour. Let me get that money. I don't got no law degree either, but I don't got no law degree. But what I'm saying to you is like, okay, just because I agree with the 4 trustees, that don't mean I'm not going to listen to what other people are saying. That's just called being intelligent, not having this one track mind, being able to being open-minded. Okay, let me see it your way. And does she actually have a point? Does he actually have a point? And this is why I always say when I'm talking about Tiffany, hey, you guys, if you really want Tiffany out of office, you better show up just like Tiffany show up. She giving away food baskets, you better be giving away food baskets. She giving away gas, you better be giving away gas. It's going to take more than the teas with the trustees. You need to be pounding the pavement, reaching out to these seniors. She having bingo night, you better have bingo night. That's what you gotta pull Tiffany card. If you guys got a nonprofit organization, you need to get some of these people to donate to your cause. Get what's the doctor what's the lady that owned the food bank? See if you could put campaign material at the food bank. See if you could host something there at the food bank. Give food away and something else. You got to be creative, because Tiffany, what she going to do is show it. You see, she out campaigning right now. She going to show up. And if we're going to go on this smear campaign, as she call it, and people are not going to like her. No, people are going to love the old people are going to show up for Tiffany and vote for her, because they remember Tiffany gave them free chitlins, water. They cut my trees down. I got a new roof. They helped me with a gas bill. Blah, blah, blah. I got ice cream. I won a free TV at the free TV at bingo night in Thornton Township. They picked me up to get my toes clipped from the podiatrist. They take me to my doctor's appointment, whatever those type of civil services that they offer. But Tiffany shows up. That's one thing she does. So don't sleep on her. But what I was getting at is you got to be open-minded. You can't just say, oh, I'm just thinking this one track way. No, stop being a damn fool, Keith Price. You was literally at the meeting and you didn't hear none of those trustees saying, what are you thinking? They all lying? All of them receiving these bogus ass emails saying people owe them and they got to be lying. On concrete, after they said they approved it. And he gave you dates. FOIA it. You do your research. FOIA those dates. FOIA all the records that as it relates to concrete paving. Who's the approved vendor for concrete? FOIA, have those bills been paid? Or what have you been billed? Has the Thornton or Village of Dalton been billed on these concrete services? But you haven't. You just running off at your mouth. And then you're telling people, you're running off at the mouth, and you're telling people, oh, you need to do your research. And you haven't done any. You haven't done any.
She's doing. I see how the children react to her, want to come up and take pictures. I view all this for myself. I bear witness to it. So you all keep y'all heads up. Let's stay focused. Dalton residents, stay focused. Thornton Township residents, check the numbers. Check the fact that Thornton Township is now out of a deficit. Check the spending. Check the amount of comp time that was paid out. Over $1.4 million was paid out in comp time. These are the numbers that I'm pulling up personally. So you all bonuses, you wouldn't believe the bonuses that were given out. I would like a couple of those bonuses. Would you all be mad if I got the same bonuses other people got? Probably, but you didn't utter a word when other people were getting them. So y'all have a great night. Do research for yourself. Keep your head up. And I'm gonna tell you right here, re-elect Tiffany if y'all don't want problems in Dalton or this township, because it's all on the rise and it can be proven by numbers. So hey, have a great night.
Okay, guys.
Next time you do that to me, make sure I have a help.
Thank y'all for listening. We just wanted to give you a quick update. I'm still standing strong. I appreciate the love once again. I thank you for all your commitment to me, as though I'm going to keep on pushing for you. I'm not going to stop. We're going to keep growing. Also want to say that we got awarded $1 million for the Village of Dalton for operating expenses. So stay tuned, because they talking mess, but they don't tell y'all these things that's actually coming out the pipeline for us. So I thank you. But I need you to make sure you read the magazines and the different papers that we send out, because we put everything in it. And a lot of times people don't even understand here at the township, your tax levy is only 5 cents Thornton Township. So all the 17 cities that's under Thornton Township.
We don't trust you to buy penny candy. Stop it. We don't care if it's only 5 cents. We don't trust you to buy penny candy. Buy Tiffany. Okay. Tiffany is feeling the heat from other people, though. You know, other mayors. Other mayors don't agree what Tiffany is doing. Mayor of another suburb of Markham says pandemonium in Dalton's creeping into other communities. Because Tiffany, you know, she of course likes to stir up mess. Oh, you don't think they raised your taxes? And so Markham, I think that was one of the taxes that she showed over the last few years. Oh, they raised your taxes by 7 or 5%. I don't think she showed percentages, but she just showed the dollar amount. Anyway, the mayor is speaking out against her.
Just a few days ago, this was the chaotic scene in Dalton. Embattled Mayor Tiffany Henyard ending a meeting after these heated confrontations. And it's all over investigations into her spending. Being the mayor of Dalton isn't her only job.
CBS 2 is always investigating. Our Jermont Terry is live with the other south suburbs feeling the effects. Jermont.
Joe and Erica, the city of Markham is one of 17 municipalities sitting in Thornton Township. And the mayor here says he felt compelled to speak about the cloud hanging over the supervisor, Tiffany Henyard, because he insists Henyard is trying to paint Markham in a bad light for her benefit. There's no doubt homeowners in the south suburbs saw an increase in their property taxes. Markham is no exception.
We didn't do anything out of the norms with our levies.
Mayor Roger Ekpawa is speaking out about the 1.6% increase in Markham's tax levy. But he says last month, Thornton Township Supervisor Tiffany Henyard, who is also the embattled Dalton mayor, led residents to believe the levy was excessive, prompting Markham residents to filter the confusion.
They've been questioned about what's going on with at Thornton Township and what's happening with their taxes. Is there something they need to be concerned about? Why was that brought up? Why was it brought up in that light or in that vein? And I think it was so she can maybe justify why she wants to double down on her budget over there.
Cities can increase levies under 5% without making it public. Yet Ekpawa says Henyard polarized Markham's levy, making it appear the city was hiding something.
We were drawn into this. We didn't ask to be here.
At Wednesday night city council, the mayor made it clear Markham will not subscribe to the nonsense. And with all Henyard has going on at the township and Dalton Village Hall, he says her credibility is questionable.
Are you questioning the spending in Thornton Township at this moment, sir?
I'm not confident with it, that's for sure.
He adds the circus going on in Dalton is a disgrace and is spilling over into the 17 communities making up Thornton Township.
Here's the thing, everybody can't be wrong. You know, you can't have all these people saying what they say. We'd like to see the township do better as well, and we want to encourage that.
Now, Markham's mayor is calling for other municipalities to speak out against Tiffany Henyard, who is the supervisor as well. Reporting live in Markham tonight, Jermont Terry, CBS 2 News.
You know, I'm not surprised. I'm pretty sure she has made enemies. Tiffany, she is saying everyone else is keeping up the mess. No, it's Tiffany. She's the main messer. She's keeping up all the mess. All of it. Governor Pritzker weighed in. I guess he did a news conference yesterday, and they're asking him, will the governor intervene? And this is what they had to say, or he had to say.
In Dalton and Thornton Township and leadership there, are you concerned? Taxpayers seem very worried. There's chaos at meetings. What can be done? Could you play a role in stepping in some way? What's your take on the situation?
So I've looked at that question, whether the state should and can play a role. The federal authorities, as you may know, are involved and investigating. I've read that. I think that's a public piece of information. There is an investigation that's been called for, and now I know there was a veto that was overridden that will now allow that investigation to go forward with former Mayor Lori Lightfoot in charge of that. I think that those are two pretty good authorities for looking into this, investigating it, and getting to the truth. We'll support them. Well, we looked at whether we ought to put resources, whether it's state police and their anti-corruption efforts, or asking the Attorney General. The reality is that there are already two pretty significant investigations going on, and so we'll support them in every way that we can. But it's really just a matter of, do you want everybody running over each other in those investigations, or do you want two concerted efforts toward getting the facts?
So, I mean, I don't blame them. They have the FBI, and then also they have an independent investigation. You have Lori Lightfoot looking into the Vegas trip and some of the corruption that's going on in the village of Dalton. And you have the FBI probe. So why would you need to bring in the mayor, unless they're trying to say, can he supersede the mayor and make her step down and bring interim mayor? We don't know. And I don't think the village of Dalton, I don't think they will want to do that, because the interim mayor is probably not going to be from the village of Dalton. It's probably going to be some random person. So we do have, or maybe not. It'll probably be Jason House, because I guess is he the next in line, or would the administrator be the next mayor? I'm not for sure how that works. But anyway, you guys put it in the chat. Let me know what you think. That's all I got to say about that. That's all I'm going to say about that. Our final story is about Donald Trump. Donald Trump ends up winning. It's not a win, but they suspended. Okay, they suspended this case down, his RICO charge down in Georgia. It is saying the appeals court halts Trump Georgia case during appeals order, allowing Willis to stay on case. And it says Atlanta appeals court has halted the Georgia election interference case against former President Trump and others while it reviews the lower court judge ruling allowing Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Willis to remain on the case. And the appeals order Wednesday prevents Fulton County Superior Court Judge Scott McAfee from moving forward with pretrial motions as he planned while the appeal is pending. while it was already unlikely that the case would go to trial before November general election, when Trump is expected to be the Republican nominee for president. This makes that even more certain. And it says the appeals court on Monday docketed the appeals filed from Trump and 8 others and said that if oral argument is requested and granted, it is tentatively scheduled for October the 4th. So they're not going to hear their appeal case until October the 4th. That's if they grant them an oral argument. And the court will have until mid-March to rule. And the losing side will be able to appeal to the Georgia Supreme Court. So I don't know if this was the actual tactic, and I'm assuming it was, for Trump and his lawyers to push out this trial until the election, because they're trying to shore up this election for President Trump. I could assume that Donald Trump will be the next president, because the polling numbers for Joe Biden looks very, very horrific. In these key states, the key states that actually they said if Donald Trump would have won these states last time, he would have actually won the presidency. And I think he won them actually, but that's neither here nor there. I'm not going to get into that. We know that they were trying to prolong this trial, and they succeeded. And it says, but Trump and the others have not pled or have pleaded not guilty. It is one of the 4 criminal cases against Trump. And it says Trump and 8 others defendants had tried to get Willis in her office to remove from the case, arguing that the romantic relationship she had with the special prosecutor Nathan Wade created conflict of interest. McAfee and March found that there was no conflict of interest existed that should force Willis off the case, but he granted a request from Trump and the other defendants to seek an appeal of his ruling from the state court of appeals. And reason why I believe, this is only my personal opinion, you guys could put it in the chat. Remember, we covered this appeal or this whole argument of them trying to convince Judge McAfee that this is a conflict of interest. When Judge McAfee made his ruling and the language that he used, he said, yeah, it looks crazy, basically. I believe Nathan Wade was lying, basically. And but I'm going to allow you to stay on the case if and only if you got to fire him or you got to remove yourself. So that left open. Judge McAfee basically kicked the can down the road, and he said, yeah, you could appeal within 10 days or whatever the time frame was. And that's what they did. They appealed it, and the appeal courts read the language that Judge McAfee put in there, and it was like, okay, well, the language reads like you don't believe what the hell they were talking about, but you just was afraid to make the decision. That's what I get from it, or what I got from it. So that's why they granted the appeal. Now, if his language was more stern against Donald Trump and for Fani Willis, they probably wouldn't have questioned it. But it was so many holes in his determination. It was like, and it wasn't even holes. It was like blatantly just in front of your face that he didn't believe what any of them was saying. On Fani Willis' side, Nathan Wade and his friend, the other guy, and Fani Willis, he didn't believe them because that's what he put in the argument or in his decision. Anyway, McAfee wrote that an odor of mendacity remains. Reasonable questions over whether Willis and Wade had testified truthfully about the timing of the relationship further underpin the finding of an appearance of impropriety and the need to take proportional efforts to cure it. So basically, he said, you lied, and I don't think you did shit to cover it up. That's basically what he said. So the people read this and they was like, okay, why didn't you rule saying she had to recuse yourself? But we're gonna rule. I will hear their appeal to see if they have a valid argument. Anyway, so that's one thing. So that doesn't look good for Fani Willis. You know, it's going in Trump's favor. Now, this other thing I want to talk about Trump, you guys put in the chat, let me know what you think about that. Grace saying they absolutely should look into it because McAfee work understanding Willis. Yeah, that's true. And he will be able to pardon himself after he wins. Yeah, that's true. TJ said Judge was a coward. I believe so too. He kicked the can down the road, and I think he was up for election this term, so he's up in November. I would be one of those people if I was a judge. I wouldn't worry about election. I truly would. I would be like, oh, I'm just gonna make the decision that I know is right, because I'm a judge. I'm not gonna worry about election. If it was meant for me, it was meant for me. You know, I think you need to stand your ground. You can't be wishy-washy, because this is gonna be a stain on his career, and then they're gonna be like, oh, he's a wishy-washy person. You know, they're gonna look at this as a big trial, and he's not being firm on his decisions, and he looks weak. Anyway, now in Newsweek, this past trial that Trump was convicted of the 34 felonies, and everybody was celebrating. Yeah, he's convicted. He's gonna be a felon, and you know, all the Trump supporters like, yeah, he's a felon, but I'm still voting for. I'm still voting for a felon. All the felons that we know, Mahatma Gandhi, what's his name, Nelson Mandela, and you go on Twitter and they start listing all the felonies of political figures, and it was like, oh, they were great leaders. You know? So now it's come to light that maybe the jurors were tampered with. It says questions have surfaced regarding the juror in a former president's hush money trial. And it says the presiding judge flagged a post on social media alleging the juror had spoken about a Trump's verdict before it was handed down. It says, according to the New York Supreme Court, Justin Juan Merkin's letter, which was sent to Trump lawyer Todd Blanche and Manhattan District Attorney Prosecutor Joshua Steinglass, a comment was left on New York State's Unified Court System Facebook page by a user under the name Michael. I didn't want to do that. Michael Anderson, who wrote, "My cousin is a juror and says Trump is getting convicted. Thank you folks for all your hard work." And the comment was in response to the post by the court on May the 29th, a day before the former president was convicted of 34 felony counts in connection to the hush money paid to the adult film actress Stormy Daniels. And it says Merkin wrote that as on Friday, Anderson's comment was labeled as 1 week old. And it says it is unclear if Anderson is related to any of the 12 jurors who served on Trump's case, or if the comment was posted online prior to former president's conviction on May 30th. Several Trump supporters suggested that the social media that the comment was grounds for mistrial. And the comment was made on May 29th. And this was days before the President Trump guilty verdict was announced, which means he could now be entitled to a mistrial because the jury pool was tainted and compromised. A conservative activist, Laura Loomer, wrote in a post X, formerly Twitter, along with the screenshot of Merkin's letter. I pulled Merkin's letter, and it reads as this. He, sent it to the different ADA, Joshua Steinglass, and Tony Blanche Esquire. It's addressed to that, and it's regarding people versus Trump. It lists the case number, I'm assuming, and it says, "Dear counsel, today the court became aware of a comment that was posted on Unified Court System public Facebook page, which I now bring to your attention." In the comment, the user Michael Anderson states, "My cousin is a juror," says Trump is getting convicted. Thank you, folks, for all your hard work. The comment, now labeled as 1 week old, responded to a routine UCS notice posted on May 29th regarding the oral argument in the 4th Department of the Appellate Division unrelated to this proceeding. And the posting entitled, "The Appellate Division 4th Department will hear oral arguments this morning at 10. And the comment are both viewable on, this Facebook page. I tried to go to the Facebook page and view it, and I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it. But it was posted 10 days ago. What was 10 days ago, you guys? That would have been oh, you know what? It might be under here. No, it's not this one. Oh, maybe it is. I probably have to filter it out. They said Michael Anderson, but anyway. What do you guys feel about that? I think they might grant a mistrial if this guy if they end up finding out who this guy is, if he's actually related to somebody on the jury or the juror. They will grant a mistrial. Because they went home. You got to remember, they did go home the weekend for the holiday, and they were instructed not to talk to anybody about the trial. But that's probably something that's being unrealistic. I think it's being unrealistic. And you got other people chiming in. They're saying enough with this bullshit. This is Monica Crowley, assistant of press secretary for Treasury Department under Trump administration. Mistrial, no retrial, toss the conviction. And Marjorie Taylor Greene, she wrote this: the fix was in the beginning. If true, this is even further proof President Trump never had a chance of being innocent. It was a sham trial from the beginning, and guilty verdict came down from the deep state and the big guy. Who's the big guy? Oh, I guess they're talking about Joe Biden. Mike Lee also reacted. Legal experts, however, had questioned the validity of the comment to Facebook, and if in fact was a fact made before Trump's guilty verdict. Katie Fang said, correct me if I'm wrong, but if the post is a week old per Judge Marchand letter, then it was posted after Thursday's verdict, right? I think it was March the 29th. March the 29th wasn't the Thursday verdict, right? Let's look at the date. March the 29th. Or I'm saying March the 29th. May the 29th. Actually, it was Wednesday. So she didn't read the total thing. He said a week ago, but he said it was actually posted on May the 29th in the letter. Andrew Weissman also represented the reports of Markin's letter right now as this happens in every profile case I've seen. Legal analyst and former federal prosecutor Joyce Vance added that Marchand was smart to advise the parties and hold a hearing on the record to resolve this. If it's something posted with no basis for it, as it appears, the record will be clear. If there's something to it, good to get it out of the way, do justice. Why does the clear record matter? Because Trump will raise this on an appeal to argue for reversal. Now both sides have notice of this issue. There's an opportunity to get all of the details and facts out so that if there's nothing to this, it won't affect the appeal. And you got other people chiming in. You have other people chiming in and giving their own legal and personal opinion about this. You guys put it in chat. Do you think this is going to help Donald Trump? Not for sure. If they're able to track down, and this is valid, that this guy is akin to one of the jurors, I think it will help him. It's going to help him in his appeal if they don't do nothing about it, number one. And then number two, if they find out that this guy is related to somebody, it's going to help it. Anyway, they could do, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of stuff they could find the IP address on Facebook. They probably have to get a court order or something to check it out. Anywho, but I don't know how they're going to check to see if the person is a relative or not. But what if maybe the person is a friend of the juror? Then you have Michael Anderson. You got to do all this background check on Michael Anderson. Another thing about Native podcasts, and this is on Donald Trump again. This is the last thing I want to share with you. Now, Ron DeSantis is talking about if Trump is, if he doesn't get the appeal to overturn that verdict, that 34 felony conviction, he's going to make sure he's able to vote. basically, I guess, expunge his record or remove anything that's against in Florida to so he's able to vote for himself. And Native Podcasts, they're mad about that. They're mad because they think Ron DeSantis he's saying his antics, revealing how he's working overtime to ensure Trump retain his voting rights by leveraging his position as a chair of the clemency board in Florida. Meanwhile, countless of others wait nearly a decade to have their rights restored if it ever happens. Okay, so this is what's his name? Gilliam talking about that.
Donald Trump, this individual, will have his rights in the state of Florida. Mind you, the clemency waiting for the governor to ask for your rights to be restored is almost a decade long.
Wow.
So he's going to leapfrog the process,
Yeah.
have his rights restored by this governor. And this is a governor who has made his mark in the state of Florida by taking people's rights away. So DeSantis is saying he will make sure that Trump doesn't have a problem because he's the chairman of the clemency board. Right now in the state of Florida, as a result of, and prior to Amendment 4, the operating rule is, in order to get your rights restored as a former felon, you must go before the governor and beg your heart out. And he says, I'm going to make sure that the clemency board clears it so that there's no dispute that Donald Trump has his rights. And basically what that means is they are going to jump before any sentencing and anything else to say, Donald Trump, this individual, will have his rights in the state of Florida. Mind you, the clemency waiting list to get before the governor to ask for your rights to be restored is almost a decade long.
Wow.
So he's going to leapfrog the process,
Yeah.
have his rights restored by this governor. And this is a governor who has made his mark in the state of Florida by taking people's rights away.
I don't know why you mad at that. I don't understand why would you be mad at that. He's the president of the United States, or was the president of the United States. He's running for president of the United States. Yeah, that's, you guys want to laugh at him because, he's a convicted felon and he's not going to be able to vote for himself because he's a resident of Florida. But it's like, DeSantis is a Republican. He's going to support Trump. So what's the problem? If your friend was running, you maybe you won't make an announcement, or you will make an announcement, but you'll try to do anything for your friend. And they're not really friends. They are joining on a cause. They have a mission. Not to get Joe Biden reelected. They trying to remove Joe Biden. So they got a common goal. And you're mad about that. What's the big deal? You guys might say, oh, those people been on there for 10 years waiting. Well, it's good to know people. I mean, what more can I say? It's good to know people. You got to wait your turn, wait in line. Maybe it's a lot of people on the docket to get their conviction overturned or their rights returned back to them. But I wouldn't be mad at this. This is literally nothing to be mad about. This was a given. Duh. This is like literally a given. Anywho, That's all I'm going to say about that. You guys, thank you for tuning in for my 25th birthday. Thank you, Stan. My 25th birthday, because I'm so young. I really appreciate every single last one of you guys. That was it for our live stream. You make sure you follow me on this other channel if you're not viewing from this channel already. Let me just go. If you're not viewing from this particular channel, make sure you follow this. This is my political channel, okay? And if you're viewing from this channel, if you are viewing from this channel, subscribe to this other channel. This is my I do still talk about politics, live stream politics, but videos that's posted on this channel, that is my business content and credit content. So if you're wondering about business credit, boosting up your business, like applying for your Duns and Bradstreet number, building your business credit, got a lot of videos about that. Okay. And so I will be mainly talking about business on this particular channel. Okay. And personal credit, not just business, personal credit too, and personal development. All right. So I am sending all my good to you. You guys have a great evening. I really appreciate every single last one of you. And I will talk to you on Monday.